This is a Fox News alert. In the last minute, the President of the United States has tweeted something out that everybody's going to be excited to hear.
Just wonderful. He says, I am pleased to inform you that Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is in the air and on his way back from North Korea with the three wonderful gentlemen that everyone is looking so forward to meeting. They seem to be in good health. Also, good meeting with Kim Jong Un. Date and place set.
I mean, three huge pieces of news there. So the three hostages held in North Korea, released. We know that we hear that the time and date is set, which we know, and also they seem to be in good health. Also, they met with Kim Jong Un, so we know that the Secretary of State met with Kim Jong Un as well.
Well, I think that's a little nebulous. I don't know. There was a meeting with him. I don't know that Mike Pompeo met with him.
Good question.
But here's the thing. This is going to be a stupendous arrival at Joint Base Andrews. It's going to take a day or so for him to fly back. But clearly, if the news is that they have sprung those three Americans, they will appear probably tomorrow in the Rose Garden, at which time I would imagine the President of the United States will announce the date and the place where he will meet with Kim Jong Un.
Look at this. These three faces right there. Those three American hostages are on their way back home. The pastor was sentenced to hard labor for 10 years, and the two others taught at the University of Science and Technology there. They were charged with espionage, and the government didn't trust them, thought that they were spying.
And you remember what happened to Otto Warmbier, the tragedy that was that. How people who are forced to hard labor are actually treated. In this particular case, I've heard that they were put out of hard labor early so they could eat a little bit and look healthy, so that when we got them, they looked like they weren't emaciated. We'll see these guys. But ultimately, this is part of a back and forth where you've seen North Korea give and concede and give, because this administration has said, if you want to talk, if you want to, survive, you better show us in good faith, or some level of good faith, that you're in on this, and then we will come to the table and potentially not have to take it into our own hands.
What is it that our president, that Mike Pompeo, are doing to convince Kim Jong Un to sit down and negotiate, to sit down and talk, and to release these prisoners?
And keep in mind, that image is of Kim Jong Un and also Mike Pompeo over the Easter weekend when they met.
April 1st.
Just the fact that the Secretary of State has had direct contact with the leader of North Korea, that's significant. I mean, usually some of things are arranged by lower level people, but this has been at the highest level. And Mr. Pompeo apparently made it abundantly clear, look, don't waste our time. If you're not actually going to be talking about denuclearizing the Korean peninsula, then we're not going to put you on a table across from the President of the United States. But for them to announce just within the last couple of minutes that the three American captives have been released, conventional wisdom was, well, maybe Donald Trump will sit down with him in the future, and at that time they would release the three Americans.
Yes.
They've already released the three Americans. One of the other things they do is to essentially bake into the cake the fact that they are going to meet, and we're going to know probably tomorrow when, there's always going to be a big finish. It would have been, and look, I've got the three Americans, sprung them. So if they've already done that, it looks like we could be well on our way to something really big.
To an even bigger finish. You're exactly right. Ainsley, to your point about what brings them to the table, what brings them to the table is fire and fury. What brings them to the table is a bloody nose. What brings them to the table is the belief inside North Korea that if they don't give up their nukes, we will actually take military action.
Here is the latest.
In this case, it's sprung free hostages.
Another tweet just posted 1 minute ago from our president. Secretary Pompeo and his guests will be landing at Andrews Air Force Base at 2 a.m. in the morning. I will be there to greet them. Very exciting.
At 2 o'clock. Can you tell the president means business when it comes to this?
Absolutely, and you're exactly right, Steve. If you're playing games like Iran did during the Iran deal, you don't give up anything until the last minute when you give a little bit and then get a lot. In this case, North Korea is giving a lot up front because we've demanded it, which gives you hope that maybe this is real, and we've learned the lessons of the Iran deal, which put us in a bad position.